Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this replay on Overgrowth Ladder Edition. In the bottom left-hand side, playing for Team Swan, is our replay submitter and all-round good person. It's Swan's Heartbeat. And as opponent in the top right-hand side, we've seen him play before. This is our other Protoss player from Team Swan. It's Jonvandar, and apparently this is a weird game. I guess we'll see what that means later on. But for now, okay, so we're looking for something interesting to happen. I guess so in PvP. Again, we're going to run into the triangle of PvP, which I believe is Robo beats Twilight beats Stargate beats Robo in terms of the builds, because Immortals beat Stalkers, which beat air units, which beat Immortals. It's a very simplistic way to look at the matchup, but it is at least a good one for the moment. And the gateway's going to go down in the wall from Heartbeat, because Heartbeat doesn't want to get run by Zealots, I guess. I don't really see any other reason why you do it. For those of you who are asking in chat, the reason I'm going to be doing more of these next week. I'm deciding to turn Saturday into my replay day, where I do a shed load of them. See you later, Flarnot. Thank you for watching. So, seeing fairly mirrored builds up to this point. No one going double gas, no one going for shenanigans. Oh wait, I say that there's a pylon going down for Heartbeat already. And now if that worker's going for minerals, then it'll get in easy. If not, then not. At least they'll know that the second pylon is in the main, and at this point, Jonvandar should be spotting the fact that there's a pylon missing. Because there should be a second pylon by this point. Jonvandar's had to put down a second pylon, and Heartbeat's not getting that worker in. Oh no, oh no. Simonette's caught in the wall. Where's the second pylon, says Jonvandar. Where is it? Where is it? Secret tunnel. Both players have put their gates in what is apparently a bad gate position, because it can be harassed by presumably Stalkers from the low ground. Or in fact, Void Rays from this nook. You have to go round and then they go up here, so you have to go round and then they come back. I don't know, maybe. Second gateway coming down for Heartbeat. Only one gateway from Jonvandar, but it looks like Jonvandar has the advantage in as much as Warp Gate will be significantly faster. So I'm wondering what's going to be warped in here. I feel like this is going to be a DT game. I don't know though. I don't know, Kev. I don't know. But yeah, whatever it is, Night Warrior is not impressed with your shenanigans. I'm putting a replacement here. This, however, seems like it was basically designed to deny scouting, and unfortunately Jonvandar has managed to get a worker in and is seeing everything. And therefore will not realise that there's a proxy Stargate. Boom! I don't know what that's going to do. I mean, the Stalker's going to come out. There's going to be a Stalker on the inside as well, which is rallied up the map. Oh, snap. Where, depending on where it goes, probably will meet the other opposing Stalker on the way in. If it's move commanding, then the Jonvandar Stalker is going to pump past it and just be like, sup. But getting a first attack off is always useful. Especially because Heartbeats now cannot afford to engage with that Stalker. He cannot afford to do it. He's going to have to run back and try and get something else defensive on the way in. The thing is, there's a possibility of two Stalkers. So yeah, Heartbeat's going to lose this Stalker by the looks of it. Thing is he going to make an Oracle or a Void Ray or some such out of that Stargate? Because at the moment he needs to. He needs some kind of edge. The two Stalkers here from Jonvandar actually killing off that Stalker. Yep, there we go. Problem is, he doesn't have anything on the inside to defend with, really. He needs more Stalkers than his opponent. He's going to have a Void Ray. Void Ray. Max Void Ray. Apparently TJB is off racing in this one, which is fair. So I'm wondering why he didn't. I imagine he didn't mineral walk because he was fucking around, basically. Oh, it's a nice micro there by Heartbeat. Will pretty much, I think, guarantee him the win in this micro battle, because the Stalker on the outside of the fight was basically taken down a little bit further than was necessary. The damage was taken on shields for one of them rather than the hull, basically. And now 4 Stalkers. At this point, Jonvandar should be like, you've got a frickin' proxy Stargate, haven't you? Because he's going to get the Stalker back in, and then his opponent's going to try and shoot it dead. Not going to get much done, but still. The Robo start's not the best, because if nothing else... If nothing else, actually, the Void Ray is going to kill it as soon as it pops. Actually, yeah, it can't engage. The Immortal would be really good if it could get into these Stalkers, but it can't. And this attack doing 10 damage every 0.5 seconds to this Nexus means it's going to fall really quite fast, and we may end up seeing another instance of that maximum about PvP where the first player to expand will die. The thing is, there's more gateways coming up here, just where Heartbeat can basically pick them off from the low ground and not give a shit. Especially because that gateway down there I think is unpowered. No, it isn't. But the gateways are being destroyed. Which basically means that even if Jonvandar can hold this now, he's basically screwed because he can't build any units to follow up. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. And the Void Ray going in, the Stalker's going in. The question is a Void Ray better than an Immortal? Depends what you're focus firing with it. And it looks like actually this defense will hold for now. The number of Stalkers on the inside, not as big, but the number of Immortals on the outside, not big enough. There's a Void Ray coming down. Another bunch of Stalkers. This might actually be enough by Heartbeat to win this, given that he has a Void Ray which can take off all sorts of things. Also, this is a complete wall. This is part of your complete wall breakfast. Misplaced Nexus was in fact killed, so Heartbeat doing his best to help Jonvandar replace that Nexus in the right place. Of course, it's going to be difficult to place it there if you can't get out to put it down, but still. This wall in, what is this wall in? Other than the fact that now, without Blink, this Immortal is functionally useless. These Stalkers can't get out to do anything at all, and Heartbeat can just push in the outside. I think if he just targets himself selectively, he can take out pylons, he can take out gateways. And I don't think there's much can be done about it, really. Well, and bearing in mind that the prismatic alignment adds 12 DPS versus armoured for 20 seconds. 12 DPS, by the way, is nothing to be sneezed at. There's essentially 2 Marines extra firing. The Observer moving down, trying to see what the hell is going on. The thing is, Heartbeat feels like he's so far in the lead he could just go in. But it looks like he wants to do some harassment first. Pull the Stalkers away from the front. Oh, snap. That's exactly what this Oracle is going to be the best at. This Oracle is going to be so good at pulling Stalkers away. Because if it goes in, it can basically pull the Stalkers back, and the infrastructure at the front can be murdered without any kind of real recourse. But because the entire army is now pulled away, if Heartbeat goes in, No. Okay? Then there must be a plan. Heartbeat is, however, by the way, expanding and giving himself a +1 upgrade, which, by the way, only applies to the ground units, so the Void Rays don't care, but the Stalkers do. And I like it. I like it a lot. The Nexus is a good choice. The thing is, there's a bunch of Immortals on the inside here, so the Void Rays are actually, if he can kill off 9 Stalkers with Void Rays, the Immortals will all die horribly. Thank you to people who are watching. Okay, more Void Rays being warped in. Again, it's a good choice. His opponent's gone for ground-based tech. That doesn't really do anything to his army. And the fact that he's able to just pick off these units, pick off these... Oh, he needs to be careful with that Oracle. The Oracle's under threat. The Oracle needs to move back. The Void Rays need to escape. But they can. Because this positioning is not great for Jonvandar. He's about to lose a bunch of tech. Because what's he going to do? Move forward? The army just moves back. And that right there is a pylon that should die. Weirdly enough, this actually means that this Robo could be killed, and I don't think that Jonvandar can save it. Even if he moves in, he moves in. Oh yeah, he moves in, but again, damage was taken and no damage was done at all. What's the range on a Void Ray? Range 6 versus range 6. So it's not possible to harass properly unless you're going after this Sentry with range 5, but again, it doesn't really matter. There's only Void Rays being produced. And this main base is not mined out, but it's getting that way. Jonvandar really needs to break out of this base, and I think he might have the army just about to do it. But if he goes and does that, then he leaves himself really quite vulnerable to everything else. Well, we'll see. He looks like he's setting up for a very nice concave. If the engagement happens well, though, he needs to keep his Stalkers alive so much. The Immortals being focused down by the Void Rays, and it's worth to kill them off. The thing is, I would love to see the Void Rays being killing off the Stalkers, because then they could kill off the Immortals with nothing left. But no, these Immortals are too much. And Jonvandar is going to be able to secure his own natural. He's not going to secure his own third. But as it happens, Heartbeat has a third, sort of. And therefore has himself a superior income. And also just, more probe production. And is now getting himself up a fleet beacon. I don't know whether this is for carriers or tempests, but I don't really care. It's amazing. Heartbeat, you beast. Now, the question is, what's the plan for these zealots? Because, okay, if the army is seen moving out, if he moves in and sees no army, he can just go ham. The question is, what's the defense gonna... The thing is, this army actually could do quite a lot of damage to this base. And the base trade would not be good. Observers are really, really useful. There's nothing to defend. There's nothing to defend at all. I don't know what the plan is for the Stargate. Tempests. But he's only going to make a couple. So he's actually going to have to go in. And I have to say I favour the base trade for Jonvandar slightly. Just because 50 damage per shot from these Immortals versus buildings. But it looks like they're going to pull back. He can't afford to try and do the base trade, apparently. Well, I don't know, Kev. I don't know. It's weird because, against ground units like this, the Tempest doesn't actually do that much damage. I would actually prefer to see... Tempests are out. The big ball of death is there. There, but move, Commanded! There we go. Finally getting some use out of it. It actually does quite a lot of damage to Stalkers anyway. Look at this bonus damage to armor. It does 30 damage, no bonus to anything. Thing is, if these Stalkers all die, the Immortals are history. In fact, the Immortals are geography because they will be spread as a thin paste. As the Tempests just basically wreak havoc. I mean, this is not traditionally, I think, what Tempests are meant to be used for. But hey, it works. And if it works, it works. The problem is this army is going to move down the map, and I don't think there's a pylon over here to reinforce from. So the question is, where's Jonvandar going? Where's he going? He's going to try and get home, I think, to defend. The thing is, the Tempests are out now, and the Tempest number is increasing, and he's still making Immortals, which is not going to help, really. I mean, Stalkers do, 14 damage to each other every 1.44 seconds, so the DPS on the Stalker is about the same as the DPS on the Tempest. But the Immortals do the damage to Stalkers, they don't do squat to Tempests. And also, the Tempest can do damage from stupid long range. Legitimately stupid long range. It also doesn't help that Jonvandar is running out of money really quite fast. In fact, it looks like each mineral patch gives you roughly 80 minerals a minute. Oh, that's kind of sexy. Oh, wow. Those Immortals are like, get out. Unfortunately, Tempests are like, no. Thing is, it still feels like there's not enough to tank here. Thing is, what are you going to do against Tempests? I mean, they can just float away. But even though they're slow, they're not that slow. And they can abuse terrain like a beast. In fact, they could probably sit on the other side of this thing and bombard over it. Well, I guess we'll see. Unfortunately, I don't know, Kev. Can they be seen from the low ground? They can, there's an observer. Problem is, doing that exposes you to fire from Tempests, and that's not fun. Because, as you've seen, if you've seen the Carbot animation, the Tempests fire from the other solar system. Oh well. Mass Tempest, it turns out, is a thing versus Immortals. Also, by the way, each of these will two-shot probes. Oh, Heartbeat. Trying to chrono boost when you're supply blocked. It's not the best of things. But +1 armor is actually going to come up due for Heartbeat. he's actually going to have a +1/+1 advantage over his opponent. And he's also going to be able to pick off a lot of workers, like that. Thing is, he can pick off... This isn't the most efficient use of Tempest, because if you A-move them, they automatically pick out one worker each and shoot it. Or two of them will target one worker, and that's all that's needed. Oh, wait. Is this a milkshake? No, it doesn't look like a milkshake. Oh, Brotos overcharge. Photon overcharge comes down. The thing is, that mineral line is... The range on the Photon overcharge is 13, I believe. Which basically means that the Tempests outrange it. Somehow. It's madness, I tell you. Unadulterated madness. Especially because, I mean, technically speaking, Jonvandar could come back into this, but it's going to require some kind of strat devoted entirely to detecting to defeating these Tempests, and at the moment I see no reason why Heartbeat should stop making the damn things. They're doing so well for him. Warp in some Stalkers and Zealots occasionally, but Tempest and Zealot Stalk is actually proving to be quite a good thing for him. And these... Oh, I love this. Oh, used the wrong button, unfortunately. Actually, unless he's hunting for observers, in which case that could be a really good strat. If they prioritise air units, the observer would have died there, and I don't know if it did or not. I don't think it did. Nope, there are 2 observers out. One of them is there, one of them is... Actually, there's no observers anywhere near this army. That's going to sting. But, Purple Protoss has taken his own natural... He's actually supplied one somehow. I think he may have lost a pylon somewhere. But he's building tons of pylons to compensate. And that pylon is not going to make it out alive. The thing is, what would really help here would be Revelation. Or Envision. Whichever one it is, it puts a little symbol over your opponent's head and then, you know. But it looks like... Oh, Jonvandar's had enough of the old bullshit and is going to go for the attack. And again, it's like that moment where there's not enough here to defend. There really isn't. And there's one thing that would really help Heartbeat is knowing where his opponent's army is. He should be getting a little suspicious now because his opponent's army isn't at home. He should be really suspicious now. He should be heading home. He's going to head home in a second when he sees all of this stuff. The thing is, this is Jonvandar throwing in all of his stuff at once, because if he can't kill off the enemy now, he is not going to win the game. That is a fact. I don't know who I favour at this point. I think the Tempest and the Stalker Zealot force here is good, but if either of them can get away with a base... Oh no! Wait, was that a pylon? Was that a pylon? Tell me that was a pylon. Okay, so that was Vespene geysers. Jonvandar going for some tech. The thing is, at this stage, Heartbeat can make a base. And I don't think there's anything in Jonvandar's army that can threaten that base. So this all in by him, I think, is going to go down hard. And all he has left is a gas geyser. Let's have a look at the building count. 1 Nexus, who's about to die. There we go. 1 gas geyser, which is right here. Which actually Heartbeat doesn't know about, but is about to find out about. Because he can't afford to build anything at all. He has 76 supply out of 0, and while Heartbeat is losing his main, the Tempest can come back and kill this off in a few shots. In fact, the army supply actually still favours Heartbeat. The only thing it doesn't is the composition. The Stalkers are super good, but not against these Immortals. And I don't think... The thing is, if he just goes in now and attacks, this building will die before the rest of his base dies. He just needs to go in, or just get some vision on it, and then shoot it with Tempests from a million miles away. Don't even bother with the army. Just kill this building off. Just kill it. There we go. And that looks like to be exactly what he's going to do. And that right there is good game. Well played by Heartbeat. His opponent, Jonvandar, clearly thought he could do more and was waiting for the reveal, but unfortunately he didn't realise that his opponent had an extra Nexus. But such is life. It was a good game nonetheless. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the